Hi, I'm Rebecca Short, Water Quantity Engineer with the Ontario Government. In this segment on assessing your irrigation system, I'll show you how and where to measure pressure and flow in your drip irrigation system. This will give you a basic assessment of the performance of your system. First, we want to check and record the flow rate and pressure at the pump. You should have pressure gauges and a flow meter at this location. Be sure to check the pressure before and after filtration. A large pressure drop across the filter may indicate that you need to backwash more frequently. By monitoring the flow rate for each zone and comparing it week over week and year over year, you will quickly identify any problems with leaking or plugging. Focus your scrutiny on the zone or zones farthest from the pumping station or zones with the longest runs. In that zone, plan to check the pressure and flows in a section farthest from the pump, midway from the pump, and closest to the pump. To measure pressures in a drip pipe or tape, we use pressure gauges and a PTO tube. These can be purchased from your irrigation equipment supplier for less than $20. The PTO tube, that's P-I-T-O-T, can be connected to the pressure gauge with flexible tubing, making it easier to use. With the zone turned on and fully charged, punch a hole in the tube. Insert the PTO tube pointing the tip downstream. Ensure the pressure gauge is held at the same height as the drip line. Take the reading, then remove the PTO tube. Use a goof plug to plug the hole. Pliers can sometimes be helpful to insert the goof plug. For a complete assessment, repeat this measurement 18 times in the zone. At the inlet, middle, and end of 2 lines near the start of the zone, repeat for 2 lines near the middle of the zone, and again for 2 lines furthest from the pump. To measure the flow coming from drippers, use small bowls or cups to collect the drips for 5 minutes. Measure 28 drippers at the farthest end of the most distant line. Measure 16 drippers in the midpoint of a line, midway in the zone, and measure 16 drippers near the inlet of a line closest to the inlet of the zone. Use a graduated cylinder to measure the volume of water from each dripper over the 5 minutes. You may need some rubber rings. Use old tubing to keep the drips going into individual cups instead of running along the drip line. A simple distribution uniformity of the system can be calculated by taking the average of the lowest quarter of the flow measurements and dividing it by the average of all the flow measurements.